Next topic, single phase half wave control rectifier with R load. This is the circuit for a single phase half wave control rectifier. As name says, rectification process is done only in a positive half cycle. So this is a single phase AC supply to which we are giving it to a transformer. It's a step down transformer. Here two lines are mentioned over here that indicates it's a core type transformer. We know transformer working principle in our basic electrical, why we are using for isolation purpose. So for stepping down we are using the transformer, and this one is a step down transformer, and this is the SCR. So it will turn on only when we apply the gate pulse for the particular SCR, and here we are measuring the output voltage, that is VDC. In some textbook that is mentioned as a EDC, both are same. EDC as well as a VDC, both are same. So this is about the circuit diagram. Now we look at the working principle. When we supply input, that is a Vm sin omega t, that is a sinusoidal waveform that we are getting over here in this terminal. When we supply a positive, when it is in a positive half cycle, the diode for which we are giving a anode is connected to a positive terminal and cathode is connected to a negative terminal. It is forward bias, but it won't turn on until we supply the gate firing pulse. So this is the gate firing pulse. So when we supply this gate firing pulse, then only the SCR will turn on. So when we supply the gate firing pulse, the input will be available at the output side. So this is the waveform. So only when we supply the gate pulse, the input voltage will be available at the output side. So this is the voltage which is available at the resistive load, that is VDC, and the current which is flowing in this circuit, that is IDC. So that is given over here. As this is a resistive load, so VDC as well as IDC will be in a same phase, but the magnitude of this one is lesser compared to the magnitude of a voltage because it's a resistive load. So some drop may occur. And VT1, that is the voltage drop across the SCR. When SCR is conducting, the drop across the SCR is 0.7. When it is not conducting, the input voltage will be available, the same voltage will be available across the thyristor. So till we supply the firing pulse, that is still here, it is not conducting. SCR is not conducting at all. So at that time, whatever the input voltage is there, that will be available across the SCR. So till alpha. So when a firing angle is applied, this firing angle is applied, at that time it will start to conduct. When it is conducting, it acts like a short. So it is short means the voltage will be very less of 0.7 volt. It's almost shown over here as a 0. When it is not conducting, the same voltage will be available at the thyristor. When it is conducting, voltage is 0. So the entire voltage will be available across the load side, that is VDC, that you can see over here. What happens in a negative half cycle? During negative half cycle, the SCR is in reverse bias. So no firing pulse we are applying in the reverse direction. SCR is in reverse bias. No load voltage, no load current. So entire input voltage will be available across the thyristor. It acts like a open. So whatever the voltage is there, input side voltage, that will be available across the output side. So till it reaches the 0 point. So again when it start, positive half cycle is started. So at here the same cycle repeats. So again here plus and this is minus. So positive half cycle. So till we supply the gate pulse, it will be in off state. So off state in the sense the input voltage will be available across the output voltage. Till here the input voltage will be available across over here. So once a firing pulse is applied, at that time it acts like a short. Current will starts to flow and the voltage will be the same, input voltage will be available across the VDC and the current will starts to flow. So this is about the circuit diagram of a half wave control rectifier. As name says, half wave control rectifier, we have control over in a positive half cycle. During negative half cycle, the SCR is turned off, because here we are not using two thyristor to conduct in reverse bias, only we are using one thyristor. So it will conduct in a forward bias only in a positive half cycle. So until and unless we apply the triggering pulse, it won't conduct. Once we apply the triggering pulse, it will start to conduct and the entire input voltage will be available across the resistive load. So this is the resistive load and the current which is flowing in the resistive load, and this is the voltage across the thyristor. Now average load voltage. Average load voltage, we need to derive some equation like average load voltage and current equation. So in order to derive the equation for average load voltage, there is one formula that is shown over here, that is average load voltage for any equation, not only for this one. Further in further derivation we will be using the same general formula, that is 1 by time period integration of 0 to time period, that is voltage value into dt. So this equation we will be using to calculate the average load voltage. Here the average load voltage is a VDC. So this waveform we have to consider. This waveform VDC voltage is there, no? So VDC voltage, this waveform we have to consider, this one. So VDC average voltage. So 1 by time period. As you can see over here, average load voltage, which is nothing but a 1 by time period. So 1 by time period, here one time period is nothing but a one complete cycle. So here it will complete one cycle. So this is one cycle, no? One cycle. For one cycle, average load voltage we are calculating. So 1 divided by the time is one cycle, time period is 1 divided by 2 pi, integration of 0 to 2 pi, that is written over here, 0 to 2 pi, and the cycle, the voltage which we are getting at this side, at the output side, that is over here, what we are getting, the voltage, that is Vm sin omega t, that we have to write over here, Vm sin omega t d omega t. So this is the first equation how we got. 1 by time period is nothing but a one complete cycle, 1 divided by 2 pi, and integration, that is from 0 to 2 pi, that is 0 to 2 pi, and Vm sin omega t is the type of sine wave, and with respect to d omega t we have to integrate. Now this 0 to 2 pi can be divided into 0 to pi, that you can see over here. Here VDC is the for which we are deriving the average load voltage equation. So this load voltage can be divided into three categories, no? 0 to pi, one value, 0 to alpha, this is alpha, no? 0 to alpha 1 and alpha to pi 1 and pi to 2 pi. I can divide this like this for a simplification, because for entire this duration we are not getting the output voltage, only alpha to pi we are getting the output voltage. Here it is 0 voltage, here also the 0 voltage, only here we are getting the output voltage. For that we can divide this waveform as a 0 to alpha, alpha to pi and pi to 2 pi, that is divided over here. As you can see, that is 0 to alpha, one divided by 2 pi, 0 to alpha Vm sin omega t plus alpha to pi, that is alpha to pi Vm sin omega t, and the down one pi to 2 pi. So this entire waveform is divided. So 0 to pi alpha, alpha to pi and pi to 2 pi. So 3. We are dividing this entire waveform, that is 0 to 2 pi is divided into 0 to alpha, alpha to pi, pi to 2 pi. As you can see from the waveform, 0 to alpha, what is the output voltage? The output voltage, that is 0 to alpha till here. Here what is the output voltage? That is 0, that we can neglect it to 0. and alpha to pi we have output voltage that we cannot neglect, and pi to 2 pi here it is again 0. So this also we can neglect. So finally what we can write, 1 divided by 2 pi, that is the time period, 1 divided by 2 pi, alpha 2 pi, that is alpha 2 pi Vm sin omega t d omega t. So directly we can write this equation. In further derivation we are writing this directly. For understanding purpose it is shown by dividing the waveform. So by seeing this waveform only we can write this equation, that is that time period is 1 divided by 2 pi. From where to where we are getting the output, that is from alpha to pi we are getting the output. The type of sine output voltage is Vm sin omega t d omega t. Now we have to integrate this one. So if we integrate this one, 1 divided by 2 pi alpha to pi Vm sin omega t, Vm sin omega t. If I take a Vm as a common, then how can I write Vm by 2 pi alpha to pi sin omega t d omega t, this one. So by taking a Vm as a common, I can integrate only sin omega t d omega t. So Vm is a constant, we are integrating with respect to d omega t. So the integration of sin omega t is minus cos omega t. So the limits are alpha to pi. Now, so if we apply these limits, so what will, if I take this minus common, so if I take a minus as a common, then cos pi, that is the upper limit, and cos alpha, that is a lower limit. So we are applying the upper and lower limit. So after that, what's the value of cos pi? The value of cos pi is minus 1, and cos alpha value that we don't know, it's a variable value, cos alpha. Next one, the minus Vm, if I take a minus as a common in this equation, so the left out part in the bracket is 1 plus cos alpha. So this minus and this minus will get cancelled, so it will become plus. So finally what we are getting, Vm by 2 pi 1 plus alpha. So this is the VDC average value for a half wave control rectifier. Average load equation. The average load equation VDC for a half wave control rectifier for resistive load is Vm by 2 pi 1 plus cos alpha. Similarly, as we derived equation for a voltage, similarly we need to derive an equation for a current also, that is average load current. So this average load current, we know the formula, that is V is equals to IR. So how can I write I? I is nothing but a V by R. So the value of a VDC we know, that is this one, Vm 1 plus cos alpha divided by 2 pi. So if I divide this equation by R, that will be the equation for current, IDC. The same thing is done over here, that is this equation. IDC is equals to Vm of 1 plus cos alpha divided by 2 pi R. Now RMS value of output voltage. The RMS value of output voltage, again here one general formula is there. In order to calculate the RMS value, that is the root mean square value of an output voltage, is calculated by using this general formula, that is Vrms is equals to 1 by T, that is 0 to T 1, that is the voltage value, that is the RMS voltage we are calculating, the voltage equation to the square with respect to dt to the power 1 by 2. So this equation you have to remember for the further derivation also, that is this equation, Vrms is equals to 1 by pi 0 to T, the value, that is if we want the value of a voltage RMS, then we need to substitute the equation of the voltage. If the current RMS value is required, means we need to substitute the current value of RMS to the square to the entire power 1 by 2, that is nothing but square root. The same, if we use the same equation, if we substitute the value, the time period is 1 divided by 2 pi alpha to pi. From where to where we are getting the output, from the waveform we can say that we are getting the output from alpha to pi, and the equation is Vm sin omega t. that is Vm square sin square omega t d omega t to the power 1 by 2. We use the same equation and we substitute the value over here. You can see here 1 divided by 2 pi alpha 2 pi Vm square sin square omega t d omega t to the power 1 by 2. Now if we substitute, if I take a Vm square as a common, Vm square divided by 2 pi, which is a constant, the left out part in the bracket is alpha 2 pi sin square omega t d omega t to the power 1 by 2. What's the value of sin square omega t? Sin square omega t is nothing but a 1 divided by 2 1 minus cos 2 omega t, the trigonometric equation. So if we substitute the trigonometric equation in the above equation, then it looks like this: Vm square divided by 2 pi 1 by alpha 1 minus cos 2 omega t d omega t to the power 1 by 2. So if I take this 2 outside, then Vm square divided by 4 pi. So here I am taking the integration separately for the 1 as well as for cos 2 omega t. So integration of alpha 2 pi 1 omega t and integration of cos 2 omega t d omega t. So here we are taking it separately for individual term. What is the integration of constant value? Integration of constant value is 1, that is omega t only. So that is written over here, and the integration of cos 2 omega t is sin 2 omega t divided by 2. So that integration we are using over here, sin 2 omega t divided by 2, that is from alpha 2 pi to the power 1 by 2. Here alpha 2 pi y we are writing here, that is a limit for the integration. So if we substitute the value of upper limit and lower limit in the above equation, so finally we are going to get the value of Vm square divided by 4 pi pi minus alpha plus sin 2 alpha divided by 2 to the power 1 by 2. So by applying the upper as well as the lower limit. So this is the final equation. So here the pi is taken inside. So Vm by 2 here we are taking in the further equation, in the next equation we are taking this pi inside, and the square root of 2 and this 1 by 2 get cancel each other, and the square root of 4 is 2, that is directly written over here. Vm by 2, the left out part for which we are applying the square root, that is 1 by 2. So for the first equation we are removing the square, as well as the square root of 4 is 2. So and pi is taken inside. So that this is the left out part that is present in the square root. 1 by 2 is nothing but a square root. So finally if we supply the value of alpha is equals to 0, so if we supply the value of alpha is equals to 0, what will be getting in the above equation? This is 0, sin 0, this is also 0, pi and pi will get cancelled. So the left out part in the above equation, if alpha is equals to 0 means, that is firing angle 0 means Vm by 2 is the RMS value of an output voltage.